Before we continue with the story, let's practice this word bewilder, which is like confusion. It's something like confusion. So here is a situation. Mary and John went to see a movie. They didn't like the movie because the ending was very confusing. Now we could say the ending confused them. The ending confused them. But we could also use the word bewildered them. So let's say it like that. The ending bewildered them. The ending bewildered them. But now we're using bewilder as a verb here. So it would be better to put this in the passive voice because we want to focus on them, how they feel. Not on the ending. Who cares about the ending? We want to focus on how they feel. So how will you change this sentence? The ending bewildered them. How will you make that a passive voice sentence? They were bewildered. They were bewildered by the ending. That sounds better. Because we're focusing on how they feel and not about the ending. Who cares about the ending? It was a stupid movie. We care about we paid a lot of money to see the movie, and now we're confused. The ending bewildered them. Oh, let's see. How would you say also the rest of the audience was bewildered? Using the word so. Using the word so. So the ending, they were bewildered by the ending. Also the audience. How would you say also the audience, but using so? So was the audience. So was the rest of the audience. They were bewildered by the ending. So was the rest of the audience. That means also the rest of the audience. Okay, let's try another situation using bewilder. John went to a restaurant. This restaurant has a very big menu with many items on the menu. And John did not like this because it was difficult to find something or to select something to eat. It was too confusing. The choices confused him. The choices confused him. What is another way that you can say the choices confused him? Use bewilder. The choices bewildered him. The choices bewildered him. But now, instead of talking about the choices, let's focus on how John feels. So let's put John first. Let's make this passive voice. The active voice sentence is, the choices bewildered him. How will you change the focus to focus on how John feels? He was bewildered. He was bewildered by the choices. He was bewildered by the choices. And now we understand that the idea of the sentence is not that the restaurant is horrible because it has too many choices, but John felt bad because there were too many choices. That's the difference here. The difference in the feeling of it. Okay. So he was bewildered by the choices. How will you add so? How will you say most of the customers also, using so? Most of the customers also, using so. So were most of the customers. So were most of the customers. So were most of the customers. He was bewildered by the choices. So were most of the customers. So were most of the customers. Okay. Now let's look at the paragraph again, remembering that bewilderment means confusion.